Right, to the Kiwi Lads channel, we are back for another game of the London Sevens, and in this pool, at the moment, Pool C, it is the side that has won both their games, taking on the side who has suffered defeat in both of their Samoa versus Spain. Looking through, first of all, at the Samoan starting lineup, it will be Va'a Pilomaliko, Fa'afoi Falaniko, Motu Opitai, Taunuu Naulivaya, Malani Matavau, who managed to get himself 2 tries in the last contest. For the Samoans, fully Fiona gets a big opportunity here to start in the starting lineup. And Pisi Lelua also getting the chance to have a start in his debut. So a massive chance for that youngster. Then for the Spanish, it will be Sainz Tropaga. He did very nicely in the last match. And also his brother, Tobias Sainz Tropaga there as well. Ceres, Juan Ramos, De La Rosa, Jamie Mata, and also Nieto, the last man in Spain's starting side. So far, Samoa have had a victory over France and Australia, winning against France by the 7, winning against Australia by the 10. Spain have missed out a little bit here, but they are a side that last week were able to get themselves the victory over Spain by about 23 points. So let's see which way this one goes. It's very hard to predict, that is for sure. George Selwood will be in charge of this one. Quite a few injuries lurking for the Samoans, like they have mentioned. So no Valvasa Afasua in the starting lineup. Someone who we definitely won't be seeing again tonight, unfortunately, will be Malo Letero. That is due to the head knock that he did sustain in the last match. I think Samoa's favourites here to win this. They are certainly the favourites, going 2 wins from 2 so far throughout the early stages of the competition. But the kickoff is here. Spain kicking off from left to right, and Motu Opitai able to gather in that kickoff, wrestled down to the turf by De La Rosa. Now, Malani Matavao, I should mention the race continues between Va'a Pilomaliko and also it is Marcos Maneta. Now, Maneta at the moment, I believe, is 2 ahead in terms of the try scoring. Their sides have actually been purposely giving them more tries to try and get their teammate to the top, which is quite nice to see. Naulivaya wrestled down there. Spain defending relatively well at the moment, still inside of their own half there, the Samoans. And I said, Bluesnack, welcome back again, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Got a big game around the corner. Champions Cup versus, sorry, not Champions Cup. Well, it is, but it's not a team. La Rochelle versus Leinster is what we meant. Nicely passed across. A couple of those young players getting their opportunity here. Vamos Samoa. Here's Nate. Nice run forward from Motu Opitai. Another tackle made, gets back up to his feet, is allowed to go again as he did place the ball. Fa'afoi Falaniko. Going back across again. Big sell of the dummy there. That is actually going to be Leilua. Almost managed to get the pass away. Samoa doing well so far. Not really rushing it here up against the Spanish. They know they are a very strong side when they get it right, Spain. Motu Opitai with a snipe round the side of the breakdown, and that will be the first try of the contest. Motu Opitai, the try scorer, does manage to get himself the opening one of this contest. Oh, it's off to Va'a Pilomaliko. So once again, they are slightly like it's a bit of a weird scenario. They're almost shepherding Va'a Pilomaliko towards the leading try scorer of the comp. This is going to be an interesting finish because it's going to become Samoa trying to get Va'a Pilomaliko tries, and then Argentina trying to get Marcos Maneta tries. We may see these two sides go head-to-head at some point, though, but this is going to be a very entertaining finish for who has the most tries. Motu Opitai gives it off to Va'a Pilomaliko. He knows what he needs to do. He needs a couple more. And let's stay in La Rochelle coming up. It certainly is. And then hopefully if that game runs smoothly, we will see South Africa versus New Zealand straight after. There we go. Marcos Maneta sitting on 45. Apilo Maliko sitting on 44. It's a race of epic proportions. Tell you what, if they had the option of doing try scorers in a game of sevens, you would be backing those two. That looked close to forward, and unfortunately for Spain, it was just a tad forward from Tobias, or to Tobias Sainz Tropaga. Oh, it's an unlucky one because he started so far ahead. I think that is why the referee called it so quickly. But I shall mention that coverage that we are doing for the Champions Cup. That will be starting in 29 minutes' time ladies and gentlemen. Currently 3 a.m. here in New Zealand. My face is starting to show that it is a little bit late night. Leilua. And in a crossfield. Been very smiley throughout this week. Leilua, 18 years old. Whananeko on the outside right now. I'm looking through. Va'apilo Maleko, he's on the inside. He wants it. Wha'afoi Whananeko, can he get it to him? He kicks it off the ground. And he's going to pass it across to Pilo Maleko, who will get another one. And that makes it now 45-45 between him and Marcos Maneta. This is going to be a really, really weird couple games for the Samoans. They cannot afford to do this in the quarterfinals. If there's an opportunity to score, they need to take it. But for now, they're seeing whether or not they can get him to the leading try scorer. And when will be New Zealand playing? They will be playing at 5:45 or 5:35 a.m., I believe it is. So an hour, in fact, 2 hours and about 20 minutes. And thought there'd be an old rival clash between Jameson Gibson Park and Kerr Barlow. Yeah, it's going to be good. See how it goes. The Island Flares. There's Nazi Williams. The kick is over now. That will make the score 14 points to 12. I mean, in some ways, it's strategic because both times they've ended up with the conversion going over. But now Apilo Maleko sitting on 45-45. He's having to use up a lot of energy here, though, to keep in support for those runaway try chances. That one has just gone the 10 metres, although Samoa did knock it down, knock it on in the process. So it will now be a scrum feed for the Spanish. Let's go, Manu Samoan, says Nate. This is just a completely different Samoan side than what we saw last week. Like you mentioned earlier on, Nate, it's as if they needed that week to warm up. And then now that they're warm, it'll be pretty hard to stop throughout this one. I should mention also the two best third-ranked teams. That will be a penalty to Spain for Samoa going in on a bit of an angle. Yeah, the two best-ranked third-place teams actually will make their way through to the next stage. So it is not all lost for those sides who are sitting relatively high. Right, Va'apilo Maleko, I think he's going to have to work too hard to get to Milani Matavao here. I see him nowhere in sight. And does Matavao, oh, they gave it to him again. He moves up to 46, and that is a hat trick for Va'apilo Maleko. Like they've just said, the easiest hat trick you will ever see. He didn't really have to try too hard. He just had to run fast. And he was in the right place, right time. Va'apilo Maleko. It sounds harsh to say, like he still had to go to where he needed to be. It's just his Samoan teammates. There's such a brotherhood for the Samoans. They know that if he gets the leading try scorer, that looks great for their side. They know that it will be a massive achievement for Va'apilo Maleko. So they are trying their absolute best to give this man the best chance of doing so. The question is Argentina watching this game and going, we need to do the same for Marcos Maneta? Because their upcoming games up against the Irish, they cannot afford to give away early chances. And Vailima for a hat trick. There's Nazi Williams in the clap in there from Blues Nates. Kicked high again from Samoa. And the fact that they are able to pick who they want to score the tries means that they are finding this game just a little bit too easy. Wrestled down to the turf there was Leilua. Now Motu Opitai sniping around the side of the breakdown, finds the offload to the youngster here. He's on debut. They'll let him score it. And he does manage to get himself the try. I don't think Va'apilo Maleko will be too disappointed about that one. Gets the first try here for Foina. Does he get a high five from Va'apilo Maleko? Is the question there. Yeah, he gets the hug from his teammate. They'll be right at the end of the first half as well. But they are now sitting 26 points to nil. Make that 28 for the Samoans over Spain here. Manu. And also, go Manu Samoa. I'm waiting for you to go live for the Heineken Cup final. I believe it is from Connor. And it is not too far away. Only another 25 minutes or so. Then we will be live, rearing to go for that La Rochelle versus Leinster fixture. But this was a phenomenal first half from the Samoans. I feel like Brian Lima, like whatever he said between these 2 weeks has worked. Because this is a whole different Samoan side than what we saw in Toulouse, like I mentioned. So, yeah, pretty much the 2 best third-place teams also go through to the next stage. So that gives them a nice little chance of, even if you aren't ranked in the top 2, you still could make it through. And who do you think is going to win it? I mean, Leinster should, seeing as they're the home side in the game. La Rochelle, always a tough side, and they have actually beaten Leinster before, though. But I think with the fact that La Rochelle are missing a couple of those players who I normally would like to see in that lineup, such as the fact that they haven't got, I mean, they've got Dante in the midfield. I like that quite a bit. I feel like missing, I miss Victor Vito, but that's just because he's a Kiwi. Antoine Hastoy, I'm interested to see how he goes. Other than that, though, they've got a pretty strong lineup. And I think, it's going to be a tough challenge. For Leinster not having Johnny Sexton at 10 as well, that is going to be something that they might have to get used to if he does end up getting injured closer to the World Cup. That man has got a stack of cups, and everyone at the ground are having a fantastic time. Many, many beverages being consumed throughout the Sevens series. What are the teams, says Connor? Well, they will be on the live stream in a short moment. I won't read through all of them now, seeing as we have got the Sevens just about to get back underway for the second half, but you can find them either on the Instagrams or the sites, or if you do wait that little bit longer, you will be able to see it when we do put them up at the start of the next live stream. But the second half now underway. Spain got a long way to go here. De La Rosa passes it across. It's a little bit loose here from the Spanish at the moment. That was Juan Ramos now. Receives the ball. Sainz Frapaga wrestles down. Pilo Maliko. 3 tries already in that first half. Also the debutant De La Rosa. Now finding another offload. Mata. Great run there from Jamie Mata. Moves to 40 out from the line for Spain. They'd love to get themselves at least 1 try in this contest, I'm sure. Now, another step from Saint Frapaga. Now that is Tobias. I should have mentioned there are 2 Saint Frapaga brothers playing in this contest. Now, going off to the left-hand side. The draw and pass out to Jamie Mata, and that will be the try. Samoa's on fire. 28 points scored in no time. There's coding. Although now it seems like Spain have found their feet just a little bit here, getting their first try of the contest. Second one for Jamie Mata throughout the London Sevens competition. But we've certainly seen Tobias more than we've seen Manuel in this matchup so far for the Saints Rapagas. A great run forward, got them on the front foot, and then all that was needed was the quick draw and pass there. And Nieto gave it off to Mata to score the final try. Sounds like there's a couple of replacements that are about to take place. That kick is missed from Spain. That will now remain at 28 points to 5 in favour of Samoa. I'm wondering when they will take Va'a Pilomaliko off the field, because I don't know whether 1 more try ahead of Marcos Maneta will be enough. I think if they get the chance to get him 1 or 2 more, they will certainly take it. Wondering what the highest number of tries being scored by an individual in a game of sevens is. There'll be some people who are complaining about it, saying it's not in the spirit of the game for them to be, I guess, affecting the stats. But at the end of the day, Samoan boys, like I mentioned, they are all a very tight group of individuals. Penalty goes the way of Spain there. The second half, we're not seeing that same momentum that the Samoans had in the first. La Forga now runs it forward. Mata near the corner. Jamie Mata offload on the inside to De La Rosa. And that's the second try of the match now for Spain. France are practicing rowing boats in the background, getting ready for their matchup that is coming up just around the corner. But Alejandro De La Rosa scores his first try of the London Sevens. They've done it relatively easy, those first 2 tries. Samoa need to be a little bit careful here. They can't completely take their foot off the gas, or else this is when maybe they start getting themselves in a little bit of trouble. We've actually seen it as the trend in every one of their games. They start the match very well, and then the second half, the other team plays catch-up, and they don't score many tries at all throughout that second 7 minutes. The kick is unsuccessful, though. That is one thing going in the favour of the Samoans, but now they've scored 10 points to 28. Ready to kick this one off with still 4 minutes remaining. That's 3 converted tries. And the Spanish would have the lead here. Nicely taken, though. I believe that was one of the younger players of the Samoans. That's old number 18, Masifao, isn't it? Vavas Alfasua tries to get back up to his feet. Little knock on the ground, though. And Samoa, once again, give the ball away. This is a momentum shift and a half. We have seen 3.5 minutes of Spain attacking. At this point, looks like there is a bit of an injury here for La Forga. I've seen 7 missed tackles from Samoa. I believe at halftime that number was 0. So quite a big difference from what we saw in the first half compared to the second. Hey, Hamish, what's been happening today, by the way? Who do you think will win the United Rugby Championship? I mean, Stormers at home have a pretty good chance. But Munster, it's a tricky one because if they put out their best side, like at home, I think Munster would get the job done. But because it's a home game for the Stormers, someone like a Diamani's been sensational lately for them. Dion Forey's going to be back. I think it will be just a little bit too much of a mountain for the Munstermen to climb, unfortunately. 3.5 minutes remaining now. Ball available again for Spain. Sevens now looking to get the pass away. On the outside, decides instead to take the contact 30 metres out. Penalty goes the way of Spain. Quick tap taken now. The charging run from Sevens. Finds the offload there to Jamie Mata, who's already scored 1 in this contest. La Forga, he's got numbers on his outside. If he wants to use them, he goes himself. Scores the try. Spain get 3 tries in a row now. There you go. I'm trying to remember what my prediction was for the score. I believe I said it would be 33 points to 12. At the moment, it's just a little bit off. Hi, Hamish. Can Spain still go through to the quarterfinals or not, says Janlu. Now, they do still have half a chance. Unless, of course, like it all depends on the best third place side. So whether or not they are higher than France or Australia will depend on this next result. So I believe if Spain lose this game, they cannot. But if Spain win this game, they've still got half a little crack. But yeah, at this stage, it doesn't look like the Spanish will be going through. Just because it has to be that third place team that gets the chance. Avalimza will be scoring a few too. And yeah, today I did bump into Payne Haas. There's 8 in there. Ball gone high. Samoa taking it again. Now 2 minutes remaining on the clock, and they have not been able to shift this ball at all. Now they get the chance. Going to be a nice step there from the youngster. Finds the offload to Valvasa Apaso, and now they are just getting it on the outside. You can see Va'a Pilomaliko. He is asking for the ball, which I think they almost just knew he was going to have the crack. He does score the try, though. Slammed down hard. And that will be the try for Va'a Pilomaliko. Try number 4. They know what they want to do. They want to get him to the leading try scorer of the series. They know it's close with Marcos Maneta, but now he has got himself a 2-try lead over Marcos Maneta. I want to know whether or not Argentina are going to try and do the same thing up against the Irish. And if they are, these quarterfinals, semifinals could be absolutely crucial to see who gets that leading try scorer. I feel like that's one of the more intriguing battles of this competition rather than who's playing who. Who will be the number 1 scorer? Pilomaleko, nicely done though. Scores the try. 1 minute remaining. The kick is just short. So that'll make it 33 points to 17. Now, if this was the way that the game ended in terms of score, I would have only been 5 points off the exact total. They are actually, he's now going to have the second most tries scored in an individual season ahead of Lemmy, ahead of Pisamino, and also Asua, another player who he has been able to overtake with his skills throughout this season. Great low tackle made by him as well in that scenario. Now going off to the right-hand side here for Spain. 45 seconds remaining. Almost stolen by Paul Eti Slater. Now another big run from Spain. Va'a Pilomaliko in the breakdown. Not able to get the turnover. Arena goes across now. It's just about for Spain getting maybe one more try. Release him. Here's the ref going short side now. Arena tries out the step, and he's done relatively well there. Although almost stripped away, and it would have been the advantage if the ball had come out. I'm looking forward to the Challenge Cup final, the Champions Cup final. Just around the corner. La Rochelle versus Leinster, going to be a fantastic matchup. Wonder whether or not it's going to be 2 French sides. Oh, it's stolen. Right. Where's Va'a Pilomaleko? Because it's going to be the youngster. He was going to be looking for him. No, he's nowhere in sight. Afafoina does manage to get himself his second try of this matchup. That will be the end of the contest, ladies and gentlemen. Samoa putting on a good display here. 38 points to 17, still with a kick to come, which I believe should be relatively straightforward for the Samoans. But the next game that we are covering, we will be starting in 14 minutes' time. That is a matchup between La Rochelle and Leinster, the Champions Cup final. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We will also be covering Samoa's quarterfinal, semi-final, and maybe final fixture tomorrow. No matter who they are playing, we will be covering it on the Kiwi Lads channel. But that is going to be 40 points to 17 in score. Do thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.